Okay, so I uh I guess this is one of my first ever videos. I've never really done this before. I don't know if I'm ever gonna keep doing it or not. I have no idea. But in all honesty, I guess I just wanted to record something because with everything out in the world and out on YouTube and TikToks and whatever is going on. I just thought, it'd be kind of cool to try something different, and I think that's another part of life, just trying out something new, something, I guess, out of your comfort zone, I've never really made professional videos. I never really made anything substantial like this. Never really had a YouTube channel either. I mean, I had my own, I guess, personal channel for, watching my own, videos or people that I'm subscribed to, but I guess never my own, quote unquote channel to, upload stuff on and, everything. But I figured it'd be kind of cool to, try out in terms of having, I guess, a audio diary, maybe like an audio sort of episodic thing where, I just upload stuff and talk about, whatever's going on, or I just, talk about my life or something, or talk about, crazy stuff going on, something different, I guess, because I think that's the whole, I guess, theme of why I'm doing it, because I just want to try something different, just getting so bored with everything that I guess you just kind of step something, or you kind of step yourself out of the comfort zone to try something new, you know. Um, I've never really, I guess, planned to. I don't know how long I want this to be. Maybe like 10 minutes. Maybe probably just for half an hour. I don't know. Maybe somewhere in the middle. Maybe 20 minutes. Just a nice little clean number, I guess. But then again, I guess 10 and 30 minutes are both clean numbers in terms of like even numbers, but whatever. I don't know. I guess it's a little bit more awkward because for the first video you never really know what you want to talk about. It's just simply just getting used to the whole idea of like, yeah, I'm recording my voice and I'm uploading this whatever the hell this is into YouTube and seeing where this goes. I don't really expect a lot of people to listen to this. I don't really expect a lot of people to play this back or subscribe or get monetization or sponsorships from it. I don't know. I mean, then again, a nice little sponsorship from Audible wouldn't be that bad either. I think that'd be pretty cool. Start reading books at like a nice monotone voice like this. I think that'd be kind of cool. Then again, I don't know. I'm just gonna probably what I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna record this and do like 5 minutes of editing and then just upload it because that's, I guess that's it. Who knows. Again, I've never really done this before, so this is frankly new, and quite honestly, it's going to be a journey, both for me and for whoever's listening. Because again, I'll try out something new here and there. I'll try out different things. I'll keep talking about whatever's going on, whatever's happening, and we'll just go from there. Maybe eventually I'll kind of start recording gameplay or putting a background of gameplay and just start rambling, or maybe like some speed art doodles or whatever, just something different. But I think that'd be pretty sick, honestly. I think that'd be pretty cool to try out, and for whoever out there is, I guess, part of this kind of audience or part of this community who is interested in trying that out, I'd like to hear your feedback on it. I think it'd be pretty cool to see an experiment. Maybe, who knows, maybe my voice is just so soothing that it's putting people to sleep, just wistful into into sleep. I mean, I can't complain, if that helps, all the better, I guess, sweet dreams. If not, if you're just very interested in hearing me ramble, then I'm sorry that I wasted exactly 4 minutes or 4 to 5 minutes of your time just by me rambling nonstop about stupid, stuff. Um, on the other hand, I would really love to curse, but I'm just gonna wait until the 6 minute mark to be safe. Just to be extra careful, because I think that'd be fun. I think that'd be really funny to do and try out. But I guess maybe a little bit about myself. Hi there, nice to meet y'all. My name's Bones. Admittedly, I'm quite, I guess, shy about, I don't know, doing stuff by myself. You know what I mean? I'll admit it. I'm a little shy about opening up and doing stuff by myself. I guess if I was with my peers or anything, I would be a little bit more relaxed to, share more details about myself. Because I think in that kind of scenario, you're more focused on your friends than, what else is happening going on around you. But I guess, in terms of just basic introductions here, my name's Bones. It's a pleasure to meet you. I am a 24-year-old casual nobody, I guess, in this world. Just chilling about, doing stuff, working, goofing off afterwards, and, here we are. I'm not really sure, what really would be interesting to say about myself. I guess I've done a lot of interesting things in my life, both past and present. That would be kind of cool to divulge later on, I suppose. But as of right now, I think in terms of just getting to know someone, I would just like to say that it's a pleasure meeting you. I don't know as to how people would approach this sort of video in terms of just listening and how they would respond and everything, but all I'd say is that I consider whoever kind of listens to this as a friend. You know what I mean? Now, if it's like a close friend or a best friend, I don't know, because again, I don't know you guys. To me, you're all strangers and everything. But I would consider you as a friend. You're here, you're listening, maybe even commenting, responding back. I think it would be cool to make new friends. I think it would be cool to meet new people. Definitely, get to hear their side of things, hear their opinions, their talks, and, just in general, talk out loud, whatever nonsense is coming out, whether it be ignorant, whether it be, something logical, nonsensical, quite bizarre even. But I think it would be kind of cool to just talk about stuff, just in an open sphere. I think that would be pretty cool. But otherwise, I would say that it's just quite, I don't know how to put it into I don't know how to put it into words, honestly, because clearly you can tell I don't have no script. I'm just kind of saying this on top of my head. That's why there's a lot of filler words and just pauses in between, awkward pauses. But it's just strange, just putting my own voice out there. And I think that's why I think another part of me is wanting to try this out, where it's like a mixture of trying something new, something unique, something different, but also just kind of putting myself out there. You know what I mean? To see where, I guess, life takes me, where, life can introduce me to. Maybe, who knows, I can meet some really cool people on here, through these videos, or maybe I can get to talk to some very interesting characters themselves, through these videos as well. Maybe I can, just, I guess, talk about my day, talk about what I'm thinking about, just to kind of ease the mind and, go about it from there, on a more leveled approach, more calm approach, I think all those, I guess, aspects to it seem pretty fascinating in hindsight, and I definitely want to look into it for sure, because I think it seems pretty intriguing for that matter, but I will say that it's a step forward, and I guess in terms of just doing something out of the ordinary, it feels good. It feels both nerve-wracking and good, and I think that's just how I guess everyone approaches something new, both that anxiousness of like, God, am I really gonna fuck this up? Am I really gonna mess this up, or am I just gonna go about it and feel all right? And I think those are both really good, comfortable feelings in terms of that stuff. God, I don't know why I'm so I don't know why I'm stuttering so much, or I don't know why I'm kind of pausing so much. It feels like I'm on my first date again. Just on my first date of like, I don't know what the hell to say, I don't know what the hell to do. I'm just here talking about stuff. I would say that during my first date, it was, I guess theoretically a little bit easier because that I was dating this girl back in school, and we were like at school, we were like having our first date at school because we were both broke losers and we didn't really have any money to go anywhere fancy, nor we had any transportation or anyone willing to give us transportation to go anywhere cool. I doubt either of us had any cool places in mind either way. So our first date was quite literally in like the school cafeteria, and then after that we just jump cutted straight to the library upstairs, because we had our library upstairs of the main cafeteria, and we would just go into there and read books and just giggle in the corner and play video games on like the school computers and stuff. But it's just that, I don't know, it feels like that awkward feeling of like, man, I know I'm meeting someone new, I'm doing something just out of the norm, and it feels both exciting and awkward. I wouldn't say that it's kind of like the first date sort of thing, because again, I'm talking to whoever the hell is out there. I have no goddamn clue, but it kind of invokes, I guess, a similar feeling of just kind of anxiousness, where it's like, damn, this is kind of thrilling, and I don't know what will happen out of this, but damn, I'll sure give it a try. Well, hell not. But it seems pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's always just exciting like that. And I don't know. I guess in terms of an audio diary or something like that, it's day 1. Hoorah! Hoorah for day number 1. I'll try to get a little cowbell for day 23, so that I can reference that SpongeBob clip. Mr. Krabs like, day 23, bang bang bang. It's day 23. Maybe, I don't know. I'll see if I'll see if I can get that. If not, then I'll just get something else as a replacement. But it's day 1. It's the weekend. It's Saturday, August 9th or whatever. It's not bad. In terms of, I guess, weekends and how things go, it's pretty chill. Pretty nice. Spend the whole day kind of goofing off. Watching YouTube, watching streams, cleaning, around the residence and all that, and just having a grand old time, I'd say. I don't know, for like, I guess when it comes to weekends for like the working man or whatever, because I do work full time. It's a good time to both relax and just not do anything, but also a good time to be productive and just get the annoying chores out of the way. Maybe I don't know if I'm the only one who does this, but I feel like maybe it's just a lot of people that do this, where like they have one day designated for cleaning and then like another day designated for just grocery shopping. You know what I mean? I think it's pretty good. I think that's a pretty good even split of tasks and responsibilities. Or I know a lot of people that just like to get done all in one day, so they just have nothing else to do. But to each their own, I guess. To each their own. In terms of work, I really don't want to say much, because I don't know how much I want to kind of reveal all at once. But in terms of work, I am a land surveyor, and I spend all my time outside. Quite literally all outside. And while to a certain degree it is fun, it's also a gigantic pain in the ass, mainly because of the heat. Admittedly, maybe I'm also considering just looking into other avenues of life and other, I guess, careers too, but for what I have right now, I'm content. For what I have right now, I'm content. I feel happy with it, and I think that's just, I guess, something that I feel like a lot of people should feel. Just general happiness. There's a lot of stuff going out and about here and there. You always got your stuff going on, politics. You always got this thing going on, this dread, this sadness, this sort of chaotic stuff happening out and about here and there, and you kind of start losing sight of the simple things in life, and for the people that do have the simple things in life and just appreciate it a lot, they feel more, I guess, unbounded by stuff. They feel a bit more light, and I think that's something that a lot of people just don't have as much anymore. And I think that's something that definitely a lot of people should consider just approaching in that regard, like just being content with what you have. I mean, of course there's always natural ambition to be better, to do better, to want more, to desire a lot of different things. And that's good. Nothing can stop you there, nothing can really hold you back there, and nothing really should. But I think it's also just really important to appreciate what you have too at the same time. A lot of people have different circumstances, a lot of people have different things going on, and I think it's just really nice to appreciate what's going out and about, in terms of your own stuff, because there's always worse out there. There's always something worse out there, and given what a lot of people have, I think they should just be a little bit more appreciative, I guess, a little bit more, I guess, light in the heart for that stuff, because life always is unpredictable. You can never know what can happen within the next day, within 24 hours. You can have the best time of your life to the worst time of your life. You can be like one of my friends who, got a bonus from work and then lost $2,000 in a casino, all in the span of 24 hours. Well, that'll be a story for next time, I suppose, because I think it'll be quite interesting to, regale you with all these tales here and there. But that, I guess that's another premise of it. Just to be appreciative of what you have and to really admire what's going out and about. I feel like a lot of people out there are just kind of going with the motion of things, and that's not a bad thing. Sometimes it's easier to go along with how things are flowing and just doing what you have to do. But I think sometimes you just have to take a moment and just realize, like, hey, what if I do something different? What if I just do something else? Not for anyone else, not for, your parents, your siblings, your coworkers, your supervisors, your bosses, your whatever the hell, just for you, just something to wake up and do whatever you need to do to get through the day, because at the end of the day, you have that one thing to yourself, that one thing that just drives you to feeling more happy, more light, more stress-free, more just pleased with how things are going out and about. And I think that's just something magical for sure that people should try out, and of course, as you get older, things get more and more intense. You have your own responsibilities like mortgages, taxes, kids, cooking, cleaning, working, all that stuff. But always have time for yourself. Always for sure have time for yourself. Always make time for yourself. No one will ever give you anything that you need. You just have to work for it and have it yourself. Get towards it yourself so you can claim it and then eventually make it your own. I think that's one thing I kind of realized just living, here and there and moving about and experiencing life as is. Just some things you gotta create your own, create your own pathways for it and then obtain it and make it your own style. Make it your own thing to make you feel more happy. Because, shit goes out and about. Shit always goes down and around. So, at least if something is going down or something is going, here and there, at least that way, it doesn't impact you as hard. It doesn't really drag you down to the bottom. Because if you have something to look forward to, something to, just help you feel nice, it's a good way to just bounce back faster, and that's another great thing. That's just another great thing. I realize I'm also kind of sounding a little bit redundant, which is why I think I should probably create scripts or just something to I guess talk about in general for a little bit and then kind of expand upon. But at the same time, I feel like it's not natural enough, because to me the way I envision this is that I'm just kind of sitting across from someone. I'm just sitting across from someone. I'm just talking to them as if we're getting coffee, just sitting there and doing stuff, just conversing about random nonsense in the world. But I feel like if I had a script, then it would seem very disingenuous. It would just seem like, I don't know, like manufactured, philosophies or manufactured hope or manufactured, um, or manufactured, I suppose, positive reinforcement. It would feel fake. It would feel, I guess, synthetic. Not really real, but I guess sort of similar to the same thing. Of what you want, but not exactly what it is that you require. But I feel like just kind of doing this, even if I repeat a lot, for that I do apologize. For that I do sincerely apologize for repeating so much. But I feel like just talking out like this, it just feels more natural. It feels more, I guess, clean, because it just lets me, I guess, share a little bit more about what I think to, eventually hear what you guys think. And I think that'd be awesome. I really think that'd be awesome. I don't know how, I don't know what to really say, because this is like the first day of stuff. I guess there's gonna be more videos where I'm gonna be just talking casual like this, maybe a little bit more passionate about things that I want to do, or more spiteful and angry for how the day's been going to hell or whatever. But for what it is, all I want to say is that it's a pleasure talking to you. It's a pleasure talking to you, interacting with you guys, and having you guys listen to this, whether it be full of cool stuff or just complete and utter nonsense. I have absolutely no idea. We're gonna have to find out the hard way. But it's certainly a delight to talk to you, and I'd love to talk to you guys more. And all I can say is that I hope you guys have an absolutely wonderful night. Have a good one.